Otakuology podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike, and we are going back into the fantasy world of Mushoku Tensei with the spin-off Mushoku Tensei Roxy Gets Serious. And if this is your first time listening to the Otakuology podcast, I'm Otaku Mike, like I said. With me, as always, is Jin Graves.
Oh, yeah.
We like to talk about a lot of different nerdy topics. Anime, manga, games, movies, you name it, we're probably talking about it. Today, we're looking at a prequel series to a manga that Otaku Mike really enjoys.
So the real question is, does Otaku Mike enjoy the prequel series?
You'll have to wait till the end to find out.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, we'll get into this. You know,
Sure.
obviously, this is about Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy. She's getting serious.
Right, and we do kind of find out a little bit, I guess, that her and... Oh, what's his name? The guy.
Rudy.
Yeah. Rudy have come back and have met each other. So I guess it's a slight spoiler because they're at the school.
It's a big slight spoiler.
Yeah. So we're not exactly there in the manga yet, but...
I mean, the manga is there. He is at the school in the manga.
I'm not there in the manga yet, okay?
It happens around, like... What? I can't look because something's blocking my way. It happens, like 14, 15, I don't know what exactly. I think it's like 10 or 11. He goes to the...
Yeah.
He goes to the school.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head, honestly. It's been a while since I've read that series. I kind of stopped when he got to the school. I haven't picked it up since then.
You're like, I'm ready. So, you do have a lot of fun reading that one, though, right?
I do. Okay. Usually. Okay. It has its ups and downs like most manga do. You know, I'm not going to lie. There are times where I'm less interested, and there are times where I'm really invested in that manga. Like, there's like a whole subplot in one of the volumes where it's just about like Sylph and what Sylph has been doing over the past how many years, you know, which I wasn't really like that interested in, gonna be honest.
You're like, I don't care about that character.
I mean, Sylph isn't like a bad character. It was a weird jumping on point at that moment in the book.
You're like, I don't care about that character right now.
Which I probably got to go back and reread that issue because I kind of glossed over a lot of it when I was reading it.
Yeah. So before we hop into this, have we seen Roxy's teacher in regular Mushoku Tensei?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because I know she, in passing, kind of brought up, how I learned magic, but...
Yeah. I mean, don't quote me on it. She could have shown up. She couldn't have shown... She might not have shown up. I don't remember, honestly. Yeah. There's so many characters that come in and out of that book, I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like if she had come in there, she would be like a memorable character for us to have to remember.
Yeah, I mean, because she's fairly memorable in this from what she showed up in this volume.
So, we start out there where Roxy is born. Which I didn't think I caught this reading the regular series, but that their little race of blue-haired people or whatever are actually telepathic.
That's like the Midgard village. What it was called, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the Midgard village. Yeah, they're all telepathic. But
and so
Roxy's not telepathic.
right. Um, so none of them actually like talk together.
Yeah, which is
They
weird.
just, I guess they just send each other like mental images or something,
Or
I guess.
well, they just stare at each other. At one point, they
Yeah.
just stare at each other to talk.
Yeah.
But Roxy's parents know how to talk, kind of.
Well, when we first start this, they're actually learning. So at some point, they had to have known when she was first born that she wasn't going to be telepathic at all.
I'm guessing, or they found out when she was born, maybe, or when she's maybe started. You know how like children will start to talk and stuff, and
Yeah.
kind of talk and when they're younger, and I'm guessing that's probably when they noticed
Yeah.
that she wasn't telepathic. They kind of gloss over it from time to time in this a little bit, but she really wants to go play outside with her friends, correct? Or not friends, but other kids in the
Yeah. She wants
village.
to try and go outside with the kids, which I think the reason why they hold her back is because she is different.
Yeah, yeah, she is different, and they don't want her to, I guess, be left out. But in a way, she is being left out and
Right.
being singled out from her parents
Right. Right.
because she's not getting to interact with all these children.
Right. Because, I mean, she ends up becoming uh, a little girl before she even really gets to go out. And then she goes out, and we have the whole scene where the kids are sitting there, and it's like they're sending her stuff, with the telekinetic power or whatever,
Uh
but
huh.
she's not getting it, so she doesn't know anything that they did.
Yeah, that's true.
She didn't know that they talked to her or anything
Yeah,
else. And they're like, oh, they're leaving me behind,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. And
Um,
they even make talk about like she goes to get something from another villager, and her mom's like, "Oh, do you thank her?" And she's like, "Why would I thank her? I can't talk to her. She doesn't
yeah,
know like language, you know."
right, right. Which
Yeah,
is, it's just really weird in how this book starts out with having that as a thing, because I don't feel like we know any of that just from
no,
Mushoku Tensei.
I don't know if it was possibly like retconned in because it's
Maybe.
written by the same. It's written by the same mangaka, the same
Right.
author. I'm
Right.
curious if maybe it was just retconned in, or maybe we just didn't know. Like,
I don't know. Or they made it a reason for her to have left.
yeah, true, because she is much singled out and isolated. The only people
Yeah.
she talks to are her parents.
Yeah. Which,
But
and
yeah,
then we have her teacher that kind of faints outside of town. Bloody can't.
Bloody Can't, who is a wizard or magician, and Bloody Can't has fainted because she is exhausted and hungry.
Right.
Um, and Roxy takes her. Roxy and her parents take her in, and Roxy takes a liking to Bloody Can't, and Bloody Can't kind of starts teaching her the ways of being a magician. And I actually like this part of the manga
Where she's
where
teaching her.
where she's teaching her all about the ways of magic and what kind of magic there is. And it really reminded me of when she was teaching Rudy how
Yeah.
to use magic. And we get the first spell, which is Water Ball, which, if you remember from Mushoku Tensei Vol.1, that was Rudy's first spell that he learned, which was
Right.
Water Ball as well. But there's a reason why Roxy gets taught water magic, and we'll find out that later on in this book.
Well, I think we find out later on in this chapter.
I think so, yeah. Um,
Um,
but yeah, I like this part where she's talking to her. She's like, "Oh yeah, we'll teach you the magic that you want to know. You know, we'll teach you about it." She's like, "Oh, you actually do have magical powers, and you see her starting to kind of form a water ball. Like it's almost like Bloody Cant is taken off guard
Yeah.
with this particular child, or taken off by Roxy, like kind of picking it up so fast.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that she ends up fainting with
Right.
using all her magic.
Because it's exactly like what happens to Rudy.
Yeah, it is.
That's kind of the weird part with everything. But
Yeah.
It's really weird too how she gets her first wand, because what it is in Mushoku Tensei, the main story,
Yeah.
where she gives Rudy the little magic wand, and so it's kind of trippy, especially where I'm at in it, where he's
Yeah.
teaching his cousin slash lover, one of his lovers, um, how to use magic and everything, and he
Yeah.
gave her a magic wand. So it's kind of weird just where I'm at and how everything's happening and all this stuff that happened with Roxy and Rudy and things like that.
Which
So
is it's funny because he ends up going to teach her magic,
yeah,
but I mean, slight spoiler, she goes off with big titty cat girl to learn like swordsmanship and stuff.
yeah,
Slight
meow,
spoilers for Mushoku Tensei.
meow.
Meow.
Yeah. But we are told basically she gets her wand, and
Mhm.
Roxy wakes up the next morning to actually go learn some more magic from Bloody Kent and finds out that she's gone.
Yeah, she just up
Uh,
and left.
yeah, she finds out that she gave her the wand and that she left her a book of intermediate magic to start learning on.
And I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Was that the same one that Roxy gave Rudy?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because didn't Rudy's have like a big ruby in it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, this one doesn't have.
It has like a blue
The,
stone in it or something.
yeah,
It's
I mean
different.
this one almost looks kind of like a bird cage. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but she gets that. We do have the little talk beforehand of why Bloody Kent tells her why she's teaching her water magic, which was because they're in such an arid place that water can be scarce,
hmm
and so learning
And
water magic will actually keep the village alive longer.
yeah, and she leaves her. Bloody Can't leaves Roxy with a book of intermediate spells to help,
Right.
like you said. And
Yeah.
the letter is left with her parents, and Roxy is just distraught. I have to say, this scene is very well done. To that conveys like emotion within what Roxy is experiencing.
Her trying to
Uh,
leave and chase after her.
yeah, and she wants to go after her, but she's already gone. And then is it a year later, 1 year passes, and without telling anybody, Roxy leaves the village.
Yeah.
What did you think of this little thing in the middle where uh it was like a short introduction to Mushoku Tensei right after this?
The character introduction thing.
Yeah, it was like character introduction
Oh
and
my
like
gosh, it's so weird. It is
story
weird.
introduction.
I was like, why do I need some of this stuff in
Yeah,
here?
why do I need this? I already read it. Like, is it for like first
Yeah,
time readers who are just picking up this instead of Mushoku Tensei?
right. Well, I mean, the other thing is like I feel like we read most of the stuff in the chapter already.
True.
So like
There's another thing that happens in this where I'm like, why did we need this in the book?
yeah,
Which is weird when it pops up. But
mm,
yeah, so Roxy is gone or she leaves,
right.
and she's traveling to a specific town. I don't remember what the name of the town is, but night ends up coming, and she ends up getting
Uh,
attacked by some coyotes,
mm, yeah.
right?
She gets attacked by. They got a weird name. Pax
It's like,
Pax Coyotes.
yeah, the Pax coyotes. And the Pax coyotes are going to kill her, but we get Roxy gets saved by a weird, odd group of adventurers. I forget what their name is. They're called like the
So
Ruffians.
the name of the town is the Rikarisu.
Rikarisu Ruffians. That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's what it was. And this is where we find out all about guilds
yeah.
and
Well,
stuff
that's
like
not who she
that.
gets saved by. She gets saved by that other group first.
Does she?
Yeah, she gets saved by that weird group because there's like a fish man on it. It looks like some kind of snake lady and some kind of dark elf thingy, maybe.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, you're right. They're not the Rikarisu Ruffians.
yeah,
I got them confused with somebody else. But they send her to the town of Rikarisu or whatever it is.
right. And they keep them saving her. They want money for her.
Yes, yes.
Giving them giving her directions. They want pay. I mean, they basically kind of swindle her out of all of her money.
A lot of people seem to do that in this volume
Yeah,
of manga. She's just
especially at the
fucking poor.
Rikarisu,
Oh, the Rikarisu. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck those guys.
the whole town.
Fuck that town, yeah. Yeah. But she ends up making her way to the town, to the Adventurers Guild, becomes an adventurer, and she meets the Rikarisu Ruffians.
Yeah, on her first mission.
On her first mission. You want to get into this first mission?
Yeah, because she is considered an F rank and is only able to take E and F rank things. And you're only allowed to take one above your current level and one below your current level.
Mm-hmm.
So starting out at F, you can only go up to E. And she thinks that she picks an easy one because all she's got to do is go find a flower that blooms at night. And this guy gives her some friendly advice without pay, I might add, and tells her, "Hey, you don't really want to do that. That's not a good area." And he decides to take another one, I guess, based off of where she took hers.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually puts himself in the way of saving her because this is like a watering hole area where this thing is, and now we have these like weird Gilray rats.
Yeah, and the Gilray rats are kind of swarming her, and she's having a hard trouble getting off her incantation to like attack the rats. And then that's where
Right.
he comes in, if I remember correctly, and tries to save her.
Yeah.
And we find out his name is Dale, and Dale is like a swordsman of some kind. And we get another introduction, a story introduction from our chapter break for Mushoku Tensei, the main series. Then we meet the Rikarisu Ruffians, who are Nokopara the thief, who is a horse guy.
So I just got to tell you,
what?
Every time I had to read that, I kept thinking Nekopara.
Not gonna lie, I thought the same thing.
And I was like, God damn it, Mike. God damn it.
I was like, is that Nekopara? And it's Nokopara. Which I gotta say, the horse guy looks fucking creepy. I don't like the look of the horse guy whatsoever.
He does. I think later on, him and the pig guy look a lot better after we get a little more time skip. But as of right now, like, they're both pretty freaky looking.
He looks like he's yelling all the time.
He does.
He looks like he's just yelling and angry all the time. And then we have Blaze, the pig guy, who is a soldier. And then we have Dale, because I'm not gonna pronounce his name. It's just Dale. Dale the swordsman.
Hawkdale?
Is it Hawkdale?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
We meet the Ruffians. And the Ruffians, well, I should say some of them want Roxy in their
Well,
Agreed.
so one part is I want to back up because
Okay.
everybody has thought that she is a little girl.
Yeah, but she's
And
not.
I do like where Dell brings up right after they save her, they're still out in the field, and he calls her a little girl, and she goes, "I'm not a little girl." She goes, "I'm 14," and you see her grab her boob and like squeeze it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be so weird." Like,
I'm 14. I got boobs.
I
I
feel
got
like with
tits.
Dale, like I'm glad that there's another section that we read later on, and it tells you that she doesn't really understand sex that much, and it's understandable. And then if you go back and you read like the first couple books of regular Mushoku Tensei, then we have some
Yeah.
funny stuff that happens from that.
Yeah.
Well, the weird part is I feel like without her really knowing, she keeps giving Dell like all these signs.
Yeah. I feel like there's something's going to happen where possibly her and Dale end up becoming uh like love interest or something.
Probably.
And
But
then Dale's probably gonna die.
she ends up getting her money. Um,
Yeah.
and since she's joined the guild, the horseman actually takes her money and says, "Whenever we make money, because we're in a guild or a group together, we pull our money together as one."
Mm-hmm.
Um, which do you think she would have been able to afford as good of a meal as they actually got
No.
if they wouldn't have pulled their money together?
Because she only got like 10 brass pieces, I think it was.
I can't remember.
Something. She only got like 10 pieces of coin.
15 iron coins.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah,
No, I don't think she would have. If they wouldn't pulled their money together, she would have been like probably shit out of luck. Because I mean, I don't remember what the currency rate is for anything in this like world,
yeah,
you know. But
yeah.
we find
But
out that
I guess her and Dale are room together too,
yeah,
which is
we
another
find
weird
out
part.
we find out that they're having trouble figuring out what their next move is as a group, and they decide to have like a friendly competition to see who can, I think, was it complete the most quests and get the most money.
No, just to get the most money. However,
Okay, okay, they get the most money. So Roxy goes on a solo mission to babysit.
yeah, yeah, they split up into teams. Hawkendale, Hawkendale, and
And
Blaze
Blaze. Yeah.
decide that they are going to go take on fighting quests and or extermination quest, and then between
Uh-huh.
Nokopara,
Noko Para.
yeah, and Roxy, they're going to take a bunch of little ones and try and get those done to have the most money pulled together that way.
And Roxy goes to babysit probably one of the most terrible children I've ever seen in manga. Ever? This little bastard is so mean. This little fucker is so mean to Roxy. I don't see why she didn't just like fucking burn him alive. Like one,
Yeah,
she's riding him he's riding her as a horse and hitting her with like a sword, it looks like. And he's like, your sin was daring to stand up before me, and I judge you guilty. Like, what the fuck is this little kid's problem?
yeah. Well, and then he dives underneath her skirt and
Yes.
totally seems like a total pervert.
Oh no, he is a pervert. I kind of thought he might have been the kid that Roxy referenced early on in the series, like who she might have like trained or something. But
Oh,
it
for
was,
the main series, yeah,
yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't him.
yeah,
And then we we get the little one because there's a little baby in this, I think he's like maybe like 1 or 2. It seems like, or no, it's a girl,
Yeah,
and
it's a little girl.
he's like, Mama Roxy. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna go feed the baby. The baby starts groping and sucking on Roxy's tits. And
Right,
I'm like, I think those aren't the boobs you're looking for, little kid.
right.
Do you think that little kid knew?
Probably not. Babies are all kind of like that. They don't know
But
exactly.
they're all asleep and well taken care of, I guess. It was an exhausting experience for Roxy. And the
Yeah.
mom comes in and she's like, hey, I need you to go run an errand for me at the store and pick something up. And this is where we find out that there is a lingerie store in the world of Mushoku Tensei.
Hey, the other thing is too though.
What?
We also find out that even though this underwear store is here, that we also find out that this is the start of where she got good taste in
Oh, yes,
panties and
yes,
stuff,
yes.
because Rudy ends up stealing her one of her pairs from when she stays with them.
And she's like, I'm gonna make, what was it? I'm gonna try to make enough money so I can afford nice underwear.
Yeah,
Where I'm like, what were you wearing before?
right. Well, she's just got the white ones on or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But and then she talks to I guess the shop owner or somebody. She said, I was sitting here to pick the stuff up, and the lady sends her to the back.
Mm-hmm.
And just some of this other stuff, we have like uh I assume that this first thing sitting on the table isn't underwear. I assume that it's probably like
It's like
some sort of
it's like a G string or something, right?
no, the other thing. I
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking that this is probably a paddle with spikes on it.
Maybe, maybe.
Because there's kind of some blood, and I was like, "Is that real?" Because I kind of had to do a double take. I was like, "Is that a color or is that blood?" So I
Yeah,
assume that's probably what that is. And then we have like
mm-hmm.
a garter set up. It looks like,
Yeah, that's true.
and which she's like, "Oh, are these just strings?"
You're
And then
like,
we
is this
have
underwear?
crotchless panties that supposedly is what the madam is ordering.
Yeah, and so she takes it back, gets her money. She's
So I question what's the madam's
yeah,
what's her line of work?
yeah. What is her line of work? Is she doing some stuff on the side? Is she a
Well,
concubine of some
and
sort?
it's really weird because with her when she comes in all dressed up or whatever, she actually looks like a nun.
Yeah, she does.
So
She
I was
got like
sitting there like,
the hood on and stuff,
yeah, I was sitting there like, what the fuck?
or maybe like a priestess of some kind.
Maybe.
Yeah, like a holy priestess. Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
holy
very
priestess.
odd. It was a very odd request
Yeah.
to.
But then we have this little part. It says Roxy was then but 14 years old. She only recently emerged from the sticks. It would be some time before Roxy learned the intricacies of how such exotic underwear is used.
Yes, this is where Rudy pops up in the story,
Yeah,
and I was like, Rudy,
right,
this is not your story. Get out of here, Rudy. Rudy has no place
right.
in this story. It was totally like breaking the fucking fourth wall,
Yeah, it is.
like Deadpool style or something.
Yeah, it is. Especially
Yeah,
because she's like telling her story, and he's the one that's like listening to it. And I feel like
yeah,
he's almost reading this exact same book like we are, almost like it's a picture book that she drew or something like that. And when he sees it, he's like, "Oh yeah, you look good in those."
yeah, type of thing. Yeah, because they referenced at the beginning a book that she had or he had. I can't remember. I
Yeah,
think it was written by Bloody Can't, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
I don't remember.
But she thinks somebody else has a teacher that's in the town, and she thinks that it is Bloody Kent for a second.
But it's not.
Obviously, it turns out to not be.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of
But
was hoping they had like a reunion of some sorts.
we did find out a little extra stuff with this. We did find out too that she has practiced the intermediate magic a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and has practiced all of the basic skill stuff, and is able to use the water ball and
Mm-hmm.
healing magic, and this other one called firewall as of right now, at least
Yeah.
from what we've seen. But we have Blaze and Dale, Team Days, and Nokopara and Roxy as Team Noxy,
Yeah.
and both of them have 22 ore coins and 10 iron coins by themselves by the evening, and Blaze and Nokopara end up getting an argument by, did you take a
Yeah.
higher rank quest or did you have more quests in general?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They're
So,
trying to
I mean,
like they're trying to like, outdo each other
yeah,
in this aspect. Kind of like, oh, we did this,
right,
and then the little brat from earlier shows up to give Roxy a piece of candy
right.
because I
Gives her a
guess
piece of candy.
he's sorry about what happened. I don't know. And that
I
piece
don't
of
think he's sorry. I think he really enjoyed playing with her and everything.
yeah.
And so I'm sure that she'll get part of her money from doing that request
Well,
again,
it says one hard candy worth 4 iron pieces. It says
Right,
you win.
which
So
also
Roxy
tells us
wins.
that that piece of candy is like worth a fucking lot.
Yeah, whatever. How many iron pieces are worth? But like, come on, that's seems like a shit ton of money.
Right? Well, especially after we know Blaze and Dale did 2 requests
Hmm.
on killing monsters and only got 10 iron pieces
Yeah. So,
on top of the
uh,
ore. So
they need to pay more for
for
they need to pay their adventurers more money
yeah, they do.
because it seems like they're definitely like scraping the bottom of the barrel, kind of
Right.
in some aspects.
So and then it says down in one part that she wanted to go visit and travel to the kingdom of Ashura
Hmm.
in the moment that she actually tried this candy. So maybe it's because it was something that she's never had before,
Yeah.
but now it made her really want to go and go to this place to actually get some of that candy.
Well, her goal is to see the world and experience the world.
Right.
From what I remember correctly, is she wants to be an adventurer and she wants to see everything because she's been so isolated within her little town
Yeah.
that she doesn't really know what's out there.
Right.
You could say she's definitely in a bubble.
Yeah. So they get another request though, and the whole team goes to clear out rats from um, some kind of storehouse,
Yeah,
and one of them
it
moves a
turns out
box.
Nokopara is scared of rats. He's scared.
Is he
Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't want to touch the rats.
the horse guy?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
No, he goes. He's got a part right
Oh
here where he
no, it's the
says,
pig. The pig guy's scared of the rats. That's what it was, I
"Okay,
think.
okay, yeah," because it's like Nick is like, "This is too easy," and he's like dropping them in the
Blaze,
bag one at a time.
Blaze is scared. Well, the way he's
Yeah.
drawn, it kind of looks like he's scared in
Oh
that
no,
panel.
he's just a horse ass. He's laughing about it.
So, as they're trying to capture these rats, they fall into a hole that's in this warehouse or basement, and they get into like almost like a sewer or like a catacomb like area, and they're kind of freaking out because they're lost. They don't want to be there. They end up in a dead end, and like all these bats show up, and Roxy's gonna blow them away with her fire magic, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You can't be using fire magic in a confined space. What are you trying to do to us?"
Right.
And
Use
turns
some
out,
wind magic.
yeah, you should use some wind magic. Turns out, the bats have some kind of like gas in them, and then after they die, they like gets released.
Yeah.
Um, and they end up fighting this big giant rat. They defeat it, which is actually a pretty cool fight in this. Uh, I really liked it. They end up taking the remains of the rat and selling it to get more money, and then we see Dale gives Roxy her trademark robe for that we
Yep.
see in the main series. It's a mage's robe, and we also see Roxy's trademark hat, which she does not have the money for at this moment.
Right.
But one day
She'll
she'll
come
get it.
back and get it.
Yeah, one day she will definitely get it. And I think she officially becomes a member of this group because they all fist bump at the end.
Yeah.
And
And then
that's kind of,
don't we go 3 years into the future?
yeah.
Roxy still looks like she does, but everybody in the town basically knows the ruffians now,
Hmm.
and they go and have drinking parties and all this other stuff now. Um, and Roxy does kind of wish that everything will continue that way forever, that we are told. But then on the very last page, we have what looks like some stone or some bricks or whatever with a hand poking out from underneath it and blood kind of splattered everywhere.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
I
What do
think
you
the
think?
ruffian I think the ruffians are dead.
Do you Whose hand do you think that is?
I think that's Dale's.
It's Dale's.
I think
Yeah,
it's Dale's. I think it's
that's what I
Dale's.
think too. I'm not 100% sure on that,
I mean,
but I would
yeah.
put money on that too. I mean,
Uh,
that's really what I think as well.
I mean, gonna be honest, like I have the first 4 volumes of this. I have only read volume 1. So I have no idea what happens after volume 1.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We've only
But
we've
yeah,
only
this is a
just read
prequel.
volume 1 for you guys.
What?
I said we've only just read volume 1 for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could go into volume 2, 3, and 4, but I can't right now because I haven't read them. They're on my to read pile. But let me know what you thought about this, Jen. What did you think about this manga?
Oh man, I just spoiled some shit for myself.
What?
I found that part, and then the first chapter of Roxy 2.
Uh huh.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty fucked up. Okay? So yeah. So when you read that, you'll have to let me know what you think, because
Okay.
I'm gonna have to read that one now too. Since I know what happens, it's pretty fucked up. Okay, but
Okay.
yeah. But
Tell me what you
no,
think.
I like this one.
Uh
I don't think it was as good as the regular Mushoku Tensei series.
hmm
And I don't know, like I'm not 100% sure like why part of that is. I really want to lean towards it's less comical, I feel like.
hmm
Um because the one thing that really drives you in the other one is you're always learning magic, you're always working on swordplay. You know, things are happening, and you always kind of have like these crazy ass love interest things that pop up.
Or like just the fate of the world, you know. And
Yeah, but with this one, it just seems really tame. You know, I feel like they try to throw us a couple curveballs in that aspect of making it enjoyable to be like, oh, well, does he hook up with somebody or whatever?
yeah.
This one, I feel like because it is based towards a girl, that they are kind of backing off on that stuff from the regular series.
Hmm.
So
I mean,
I I don't know.
there's only so much they can do because we get to a certain point and then the main series starts. So,
Right.
you know, it, it's uh, when I first read this book, which was like a couple years ago, I think I had my Mushoku Tensei rose-colored glasses on,
Yeah.
and when I first read this, I really, really enjoyed the book. The
Right.
second time I read it, which was like 30 minutes ago, I was fucking bored. I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. There was just something missing for me. Now, I don't know if it's just the first volume or what, but I'm gonna give a volume 2 a try. And if volume 2 does not hit it with me, I also did not really care for the other party members. I didn't care
Right.
for Blaze, Nekopara, or Dale.
Oh, buddy. Well,
Like,
you're in for a thing with that.
okay, okay.
The first chapter of book two,
Yeah,
at least
so
from what
like
I skimmed. So
it was it's not a bad read. Like it's definitely a decent companion piece to the main series, but I feel like the main series is a little better than this, to be honest. Because like we do get a different artist in this, which is the artist isn't bad. I like the artist in this. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There was just something missing, and I don't know exactly what it is, which was missing from this. Like it's almost like they kind of uh caught lightning in a bottle with the original series, and this is almost like I don't want to say like a cash grab because I know a lot of people do like Roxy as a character,
yeah.
and Roxy only shows up periodically throughout the main series for big chunks of it.
Do you think that maybe as long as it took for you to get back to this one, maybe that was the problem with you not enjoying it as much?
That is very
Or
possible.
or do
That
you
is
think that maybe you didn't like it as much because you already kind of had read it and knew what was going to happen?
uh probably both, honestly.
So,
Like there are parts of it that I forgot about. Like I forgot about the kids. Like I forgot about the
yeah.
whole babysitting thing. You know, there are aspects that I did like about this. Like I like the artwork. I liked Roxy as a character. I think she's a fun character.
Yeah.
Like, because you know when we meet her in the original, she's grown up. You know, she's more refined. You know, in this, she is learning. She is more like Rudeus in that aspect where she's learning about the
Yeah.
world.
Right. Well, and I mean the other thing is I don't even really think she's that much older cuz in this one, let's see, she was 14 when she got to town, so the whole year stuff before that really doesn't matter.
Uh huh.
But we've had 3 years, so she's about 17 or 18.
Yeah. But she
So
also ages differently because she's like a demon. Or she's
that's
like a
true. But in Mushoku Tensei, the regular series, isn't she like 30 something?
I think so.
So we kind of got like half the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and how it's going from there, really, you know.
Yeah.
We have just what has been covered
Mm-hmm.
and what else will we know? Because basically, if she's that old, then if she's teaching Rudy at like 30 or whatever,
Yeah,
then I mean, we're not that far off.
that is true. That is true. You know,
Which I
yeah,
mean, and I can't remember that she might have been younger because that there was the joke between Rudy saying, "Oh, well, I don't have very many years to catch up to be able to date you or whatever," and she
yeah,
said, "Well, at least if you make it to 14, then maybe."
yeah. I don't remember how old she was exactly.
Yeah,
I want to say maybe like she was like late 20s, maybe 30. I'm not for sure.
yeah,
I don't remember. She's kind of like an elf almost. She ages weird.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She
yeah.
does.
I mean, it's fine. This volume was fine. Uh, I I feel like it's only really for Mushoku Tensei super fans,
Yeah,
to be honest. Uh, I don't know if it'll really add anything to the main series at all.
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean,
Well, I know one thing it'll add to the main series that if we don't see certain things that will piss me off, which is if we don't see some of the spells that we see in this one
uh
in the main series, her using it with certain situations, I'll be upset about it.
huh.
I'll be like, how are you going to sit there and present me with this one thing and then like basically let me down? Like I know she's got the power to do that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's true.
But
And she is very strong in the main series.
right. So I mean, we don't exactly know where all that is going to start coming or
Yeah,
happening at either.
it just felt very like generic fantasy manga to me. You know, girl goes
Yeah.
out on an adventure, learns magic, gets with a party, uh fights rats, type of thing,
Right.
I want more, and I hope I get more. Like I get that in depth like the main series gives me.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah, we'll
I
just
want
have to get farther into it to see that though.
yeah. Yeah. That's true.
I
That's true.
yeah, I also think it will be somewhat weird. I think as we cover a little more, just what else is going to go into it, what's going else is going to happen.
Yeah.
Um, because we have covered this part or whatever, but like the other thing is, like you said, how much we've already covered in the other series, and then where we're at here, it almost seems kind of weird to take steps back.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you.
Because then it's like, oh well, I know she can do this. Oh wait, well that's in the other series.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
who knows? I mean,
Who knows? Yeah.
but I would probably say out of 5, I would give this one a 4, solid
Yeah.
4.
I'll give it a
Probably
2.
probably out of 10, um, I'd I'd probably stick pretty close to that and give it like a 7.5 and 8.
Out of 10, I would give it a 4.
I'd give it a 2.
I give it a 4. 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know why. It just didn't click with me this time. And I don't know why.
well, and that's the weird thing. Like, I enjoyed it, but I feel like at some point you or I get too far into reading all of the different isekais and stuff, and it's kind of like, okay, well, I've seen this like a million times before, so
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like
we
you
can't.
become like numb to it or desensitized. Like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I just I don't exactly know if there's any more that I can, as of right now, without reading more, that I feel like I can feel like it needs to be spruced up at all.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I mean, I think it does need some stuff done to it.
Yeah. That's true.
But let us know if you guys enjoyed this. Our regular one for this is actually probably our highest listened to show as
It
of right
is our
now.
highest listened to show. What are you talking about?
Hey, buddy, it might not be there forever.
It's gonna take a while to
It
keep
will.
jumping up.
Something will have to tread lightning or whatever
Yeah,
for it to
yeah.
do that.
But
But
let us know. Are you
who
picking
knows?
up this series as well? Are you reading this series? Do you have a different opinion of Roxy Gets
Are you
Serious?
watching the anime for the main
Oh
series?
yeah. Did you hear season 2 got announced?
I did.
Yeah. Oh
So
fuck yeah.
are you watching that? Are you going to try and write to um who publishes this? I forgot. Are you going to
Seven
write to
Seas.
Seven Seas and ask them for a Roxy anime to come out? What's going to happen here, guys? So
Yeah.
anyway, though, thanks
Anyways.
for listening. Check us out on all major podcast platforms for all of our other shows. And
Yes.
as always, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Not Thursday?
No, that was on the last one.
Okay. See you next Tuesday.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.